And we're back. I forgot to put my little message on the door saying recording. So Rich came with his loving heart to offer me a cup of tea and see when we were going out. Okay, so yes, just to get back to where I was, where I think we're on session 7 now, and this is part B of session 7. So I'd become to a place where I was just suffering anxiety and difficulty even coming to church. I'd want to go, but when I got there, the thought of being with other people and other people maybe looking at me or expecting something from me that I couldn't give, I would get to the door and my heart would just race and I would think, I can't do this. And I would just say to Rich, can I have the car keys? And I would whiz off home. So that's how I had been. But when this change came in my life where I decided I need to give everything, all the things I've held back, all the things that I haven't wanted to surrender to God, if I want to go, if I want my life to stay on a high point, to stay almost level instead of going up and down and up and down, 1 minute I'm high, the next minute I'm low, then I need to give everything to Him so that He can fill me more. And I just want to grow. I want to keep going up the ladder instead of 2 steps up and 1 step down, 1 step up, 3 steps down. You know the story. So I started going to conferences, and I did what the friends tell the bride to do. If you don't know the way, if you don't know how to get strong, follow the tracks of the sheep. Follow the tracks of those who have been before, those who have been to the place where you want to be. Look for someone who's where you want to be. Then watch them, learn what they learned, find out how, and begin to implement. Don't just read them, but begin to implement them. And of course, all this is done in prayer. You always bring everything to God and ask Him to give you wisdom as well, because not everything we find on YouTube or on the internet is correct. Our spirits need to be so filled with the Bible that we can judge what we're watching so that we know, is this somebody that I want to follow? I felt that my spirit resonated and told me, and I knew that it was right because my spirit would start to jump and spark and I'd feel inspired and I'd want to know God more. I'd want to know more of His word. I'd want to be more loving. I'd want His character to fill me even more. And because what I was reading was doing that to me, I felt I could be quite comfortable in saying this person is someone who's following God and who's doing the right thing because of what it does in me. It sparks me to want more of God. So she says, graze your young goats by the tents of the shepherds. So you go and be by the tents, wherever the shepherds who teach these good teachings are, feed near them. Well, we've already said all that, haven't we? So I just wanted to move on to do the next verse. Very briefly, we've got 2 minutes, so let's see if we can do it. He says, I liken you, my darling, to a mare, this is verse 9, among Pharaoh's chariots. Well, at first, when I read that, I thought, what? I am like a horse, a female horse that people use to go fast, to draw, blah, blah. And I thought, okay, no, he said, I liken you to one of Pharaoh's mares. So, okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. What was one of Pharaoh's mares like? And it was really rather amazing. One, Pharaoh, was it Pharaoh? Yeah. Pharaoh's chariot horses were the most expensive horses. They were drawn from all over the world and they cost 150 shekels each. I don't know exactly how that would compare to today's, but I know it's really, really a lot of money, like 5 years' wages for your normal person or something incredible. So it was something that was bought at great cost. It's amazing, isn't it? We're bought at great cost, the New Testament tells us, because Jesus was the most expensive, gave Himself. He was the most expensive payment, so to speak. So they're bought at a great cost. They're also one of 12, they had 12,000 chariot horses. So they're one of 12,000. 12 always represents, or not always, often represents governance. The 12 tribes of Judah, 12 disciples, and there's this sort of example, this feeling of governance, of ruling. So he's one of that which rules and brings right. And we are supposed to be those who bring God's rule onto the earth, His kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. And we, together with the other chariot horses, make up the whole of that 12. So It's to do with us ruling in the heavenlies. But the other thing was they were always yoked with another one. And you know, Jesus always sent them out in twos, didn't he? And that talks about how we should never be trying to do anything on our own. We must always be yoked to someone else. We must always have someone else alongside us, someone to check us, someone to say, I think you might be being a bit emotional there, or I think maybe you need to check this, or yes, you're right, I know you don't feel like it, but you are powerful, you can do this. Someone to encourage when we're down. You know, scripture talks about two are better than one, because when one's down, the other can lift him up, and two can keep warm. So God always brings in this theme of being together, joined together with others. And of course, the other thing where you can look at that being yoked together is Jesus says, take my yoke upon you, doesn't he? His yoke, so that we're joined together with him. So he's the one who's carrying the burden. So many beautiful things. You read that you're like one of the horses of a chariot horse of Pharaoh, and you think, oh my, not sure I like that. But when you look into it, the beauty of what it could mean, and for me, that just makes me feel I am well expensive. I was paid for by greatest cost. And he went out looking for me like he went out looking for you. So there we are. We've gone through 8 and 9, and I hope you managed to find both sections of this. I hope you're encouraged. I hope you're encouraged to go and look. How can you get closer to God? What is it that excites you? Maybe it's music. Maybe you want to lead worship somewhere amazingly. Maybe you want to be someone who brings thousands of people to God. Maybe you want to be the greatest chef in the UK. Whatever it is, find a Christian who's using that gift, using that calling, learn from them and implement it in your own life. And know that in amongst that, even if the thing you want to do, you don't think is important, you think being a housewife isn't important, being a mum, being a grandma isn't important, but God sees them as so important that he paid the greatest cost for that. And we need everybody. We need the entire body to work. We need the eyelash. You know, we need the nose hair, the things that other people think aren't so good. Every part of it, when we come together, we make a good body. And for one piece to be missing, the body doesn't work properly. So whatever you're called to, whatever you feel called to, whether you feel that what you want to do isn't great or not, know that God only made great people. Everyone he made has a great purpose, and that's you. So I hope you'll join me next time. Take care. God bless. Many blessings. Enjoy God.